And again, we don't want there to be fraud. But, I mean, clearly Ron Paul was the winner in Iowa. Clearly they've been attacking him, lying about him. And so understand, folks, we're winning just by Ron Paul running. We're winning. Look at where he's come from 4 years ago. Look at what Rand's doing in the Senate, trying to block and exposing tyrannical legislation. They've got all these Campaign for Liberty people who are true constitutionalists now running. It's going to get exponentially more powerful as we build. And Ron Paul could win. I mean, he's gone from nowhere with the media ignoring him to number 2, probably number 1, and the records of the other guys are so pitiful. If we get behind him, it's on. And folks all over the country, I talk to talk show hosts, you name it, liberals, conservatives, they all love Ron Paul. Every caller I hear to local radio says, I want Ron Paul, and the host says, too bad you can't have him. I mean, to hear the corporate dinosaur media with their parroting that Ron Paul can't win, telling their own audience that they're idiots, you're really seeing this paradox here. Wayne Paul, you were, I think, getting to that point. You were talking about you live in a small town.
I live in a small county in Texas. And even in our county 4 years ago, there was such contempt that because I worked in the precinct and went to the county convention, I was in effect ostracized because of my name, and it was pretty frustrating to see that happen. And then to hear our governor at that time at the state convention saying, since we don't have anybody running for president, you can do what you want with your votes. And from Texas, and they didn't even grant him favored son status. Perry wouldn't even grant that to him 4 years ago.
Well, look at Perry. He's coming back with his tail between his legs, exposed for working for Al Gore and all the rest of it. I mean, if one thing we're learning here, the Republican leadership is basically a bunch of globalist, socialist, corporatist Democrats masquerading as conservatives.
Well, it sure looks like that. And I think the greater issue is what does the Republican Party nationwide, statewide, and countywide, what do they want to do to grow their party? It's evident they're not anxious to do it. In everything they do, they're showing we don't care. And that's very unfortunate.
Well, in closing, Ron Paul, your brother, has pretty much said, no, I'm probably not going to run third party, but stop trying to make me say what I'll do. You obsess on this. And I understand that running third party, it would probably be hard to get elected, but he would be able to continue to inject real ideas, which is winning. Resistance is victory. And I understand that then they could demonize the congressman if Obama got reelected because of it, claiming like he did what Ross Perot did. So it is a complex issue, but what's your view on your brother running third party?
Well, it's not going to happen. I think the problem is that the Republican Party is trying to spread or develop that rumor because they do not want to turn around and defeat our current president because Ron's the only one that can do it, and they can't handle it. So they're going to try everything in their power to blame it on somebody else except the National Republican Party.
That's right.
And they got to make up their mind because by the time we get to the convention, there's going to be egg on the Republican Party's face because they don't want the young people, they don't want the libertarians, and they don't want the disenfranchised Democrats in their party, and they're going to try to blame it on whomever they can, and it ain't going to happen.
Well, I agree with you, and I've told people that. I don't think your brother is going to run for third party. He just doesn't like being, having an option closed to him. And he has wisdom. You obviously have wisdom. People are hearing it right now, and that's probably a good move. I just wish there was somebody prominent third party just so they could be in the debates. But who knows? Your brother would probably run third party and probably have 30% of the vote out of the gate. They probably wouldn't have him in the debate. I mean, you know, they're that big of cheats.
Well, it's not going to happen. The National Republican Party is going to have to make up their mind that they're going to have to deal with it, or they're the ones that are going to have egg on their face.
Well, by the way, as you know, you're right. They've got a whole bunch of polls that have been coming out for 6 months, and Ron Paul has, for those that don't know, has the highest numbers against Obama. I mean, he would clean the floor with Obama, wouldn't he, Wayne?
I don't have any doubt in my mind because of his consistency in his stances, in his position, in cutting back government, and in obtaining a greater national defense by bringing our troops home. All of these things resonate with the majority of the people in the United States.
And the $1 trillion first-year budget cut, getting rid of the income tax that we built the country without, ending the torture of the secret arrest. In closing, again, your brother, one of the only sane people in Congress, he's gotten a few people in under him, but they're not prominent yet. Ron Paul introduces legislation to strike NDAA's police state provisions. Boom. No corporate media coverage of that speech yesterday.
Right.
They just said he was up there to do a futile vote against debt increase, which is not futile, doing the right thing. It continues with Rand saying he's going to filibuster or block the SOPA bill that goes after the free speech. What's your take on the NDAA and the fact that the traitor media won't cover that Ron Paul's trying to repeal it?
Well, I can refer you to Daily Paul. His total speech is on Daily Paul this morning.
Yes, in fact, we've got it in our article that Nemo did as well. We probably should have actually played that speech, but we've run out of time. We'll probably play it on the Nightly News this evening. Boy, I tell you, have you found, Wayne, that that's a wake-up call that the NDAA actually passed the secret arrest of citizens?
Well, again, it points to the people in power not caring about the people. They're not representing the citizens of the United States, and the citizens of the United States are going to change that this year.
Yes, and despite the corporate traitor media, I feel, Wayne, we've been trying to come up with a name for the mainstream media because they're not the mainstream anymore. The alternative is now the new media, is bigger. I've got a video out today showing major studies showing that, and they've known this for a couple of years. What would you call the prostitute traitor media, globalist media?
How about mudstream media?
Mudstream. Sirline media.
There you go. or muddle stream.
The listeners, we're all trying to comb the world for the best name. Mudstream media. Oh, boy. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead. You're going to say something?
No, that's all right.
No, go ahead, Wayne, in closing.
Well, I just want to say it's people like you and people that want honest, straightforward answers that are going to make the difference in this country in the next 6 months. And they will do their quiet revolution in terms of making sure that we get honesty in government, we get limited government, we get stronger military government, and that's going to take place regardless of what the mudstream media puts out there.
The mudsling media, that's even better.
There you go.
All right, well, great job, Wayne. God bless you, and say hi to Ron and the rest of the family. God bless you.
Thank you, Alex. I look forward to talking to you again.
It was great talking to you. Wow, what a great guy. It's been a pleasure meeting him at different activist events, protesting the Fed and other things. A great guy out there. Another chip off the Paul block. Just a great family of people. And who else is standing up in government against all this evil? They're just a bunch of traitors. I mean, I really think it's the traitor media. The globalist occupational propaganda division. The zombie control media. The disgraceful media. The disgusting media. the teleprompter media, the globalist talking point media, the slime bag, scumbag, Judas Iscariot media, the filth media, the discredited media, the pompous know-it-all Decepticon media. I mean, you could just go on. There's not enough names for this group of traitors. Treacherous scum, airheads, go along to get along trash, maggots, minions of evil, sellouts, go along, get along, scum, the cream of the scum stream media. You guys are all in there chomping at the bit. You got any names? I mean, we're seeking after the grail because there's such filth that there's not a name yet. The mudsling media, the mudstream media, those are good. But it's just there's not something good enough. Prostitute, that's good, but not good enough. Traitor media? Teleprompter media? What is it? Corporate public relations, hack, poser media, the counterfeit media, the carpetbagger media, the con artist media. I mean, I don't know. Just the enemy media. Globalist enemy media. They're not even media. It's just an enemy. It's like a tank with a loudspeaker saying, stand up. We are your friends. And then you stand up and they shoot you. It's like Mars Attacks. The aliens are running around with big loudspeakers laughing, going, don't run. We are your friends, shooting people. Yeah, it's a military operation. It's a globalist propaganda. It is the enemy. I mean, it's not like they've got some bias. These are scum. Okay, and they've got giant stables, giant bevies of little prostitutes that just want to put their makeup on and act cool and climb the social traitor sycophant media ladder, who will just run around in giant mass just doing whatever they're told, just groveling on hand and knee to the system so they can sit there in little fancy suits with makeup on, looking real authoritative, lying to zombie fluoride heads. Now, I'm in a busy beaver. I was on Coast to Coast AM last night. I did 2 radio interviews this morning. I am doing the nightly news this evening. And I am going to do RT today. And you don't want to miss these shows coming up 7 o'clock every evening. They're powerful. Now, here was one of our top stories today because it deals with us. And it deals with Infowars.com, Tip of the Spear, and all the things that the system has been doing to try to censor us and shut us down. But there's an article that Paul Watson did this morning because it hit me last night. Everything that Google says they're fighting in SOPA, they're already doing. They're already taking websites down under government request. They're already banning. They've already delisted us from most of their search engines, kicking us off the news feature a few years ago when Obama started running. We've gone and I mean, they even deleted videos where we were bullhorning Schmidt, the head of Google at Bilderberg. I mean, they're censoring us, and I'm sick of it. Do you understand? They're already doing it. They just don't want the knuckle-dragging government to have the control because they've already got it. This article's important, and folks, they are trying to censor us. I hope you get it out to everybody. I hope you realize Infowars.com, Prisonplanet.com, the nightly news, the radio show, what we do. If the globalists have their way, you're not going to be hearing this.